So I've gone back and made a spacer. In this case, I had some 410 stainless, so I decided to use that because it's the right color and it was around and it was about the right thickness. And I did the same process of fitting this onto the tang. You can see this moves a little bit, but it won't matter after I make the registration pins. This one here drops on, and again, it shifts a little bit, but again, it doesn't matter once I get the registration pins. I do have a poor fit this way, and that needs to be addressed. So I'm going to take these all off here, and I'm going to address these faces. To do that, I'm going to take a flat piece of material. You can either use glass or I have this nice piece of granite that's been cut and is reasonably flat. It's not surface plate flat, but it's reasonably flat. And I can take a piece of coarse sandpaper, dropping it on the floor. Here. This is 120 grit sandpaper. And now I can just very carefully hold this down to the thing. And this will become as flat as I can probably make it in this shop. At this point, I need to mark which is going to be top and which is going to be bottom, because it will make a difference. So I'm marking T for top. You should be able to see no light through there, which I can't. Cool. Now here comes the tricky part. Trying to drill all those pinholes so they all line up exactly. Well, I have a good trick for that. It's the knife maker's best friend, super glue. Take your super glue, put a small drop on the corner. Do 4 just for ha-has. And then drop your next piece on the floor. And then drop your next piece on. Now that'll keep those two lined up while I drill them. Do the same thing again. And attach this one. Boom. So now those three can be removed as a unit, hopefully, like that. I know where my guard sits, so I'll lay out some registration pins here. And at this point, it's a good idea to kind of give yourself an idea of your profile of your handle, so that you don't accidentally put a pin where it's going to be in the handle. So what I'll do is give myself my handle endpoints here. I'm going to do orthogonal, so something like this seems about right. So I need to drill my pinholes inside of that reference line. I'll take a center punch, and a small light hammer. Just gotta work. And just put a little pinhole here, and a little pinhole there. Putting them inboard as far as possible is always a good idea so that you don't have to worry about running into them. I did a handle one time. I drilled the pinholes in, didn't think anything of it, drilled them too deep, and when I was filing the wooden portion of the handle, I found the pinhole, and that wasn't fun. That's ready to drill. So I managed to snap the bit, not once, but twice, because I just don't know. The first time I was not able to get the bit out. So what I did is relocated the hole over slightly. So now I have a hole off center, which is fine. There's no big issue there. I'm going to use this punch to drive the rest of the drill bit out. You can see it's still stuck in there. It broke when it was coming through the bottom piece. I don't know why. So I'm just going to come in and there we go, tap out that last little bit. So now I should be able to still use these parts because they're now registration pins are still lined up. And even though that's there, it shouldn't affect anything in terms of the final fit up of the knife. I got to take that little bit of glue off, so I'm going to put the sandpaper back on here. Clean the super glue off of there. And then we'll reassemble the knife, and I can add the pins. Like so. There we go. So I've already re-squared these and fit these pins, but I'll show you how I did that. I took 16th inch TIG fill wire, cut off sections, and then I'm dropping them into the holes. A lot of times when I do this, I will fit one of them fairly tightly like this, so that it always stays in place. You can do that by taking a center punch and mushrooming the edges of the hole a little bit, and that'll keep this in place. I'm going to set this so that each piece goes in here. Obviously that's wrong. Only one way. And then my second pin. And these were just cut a little over length. Once I have this assembled in this method, I took this to the grinder with the shelf on it and just squared everything up a little bit oversized of what my planned handle shape is going to be. I've kind of just quickly gave myself a reference for the handle shape by just drawing quick lines here. And I want to make sure that I'm oversized to that so that I can adjust it later. I don't want to find myself too short in material. So where we're at now is there. And you can see this will get trimmed down quite a bit from where it is.